Right, we are live now. We're alive.
Hello.
Right. Hello.
Hello.
Right, we'll see how many times we can say hello. It's been so long. We'll go through the chat from the beginning. I haven't actually read through any of this, although I think you have, Phil, haven't you? Maybe.
I have interacted a little bit. Am I on screen now?
Yes.
Oh, I am on screen. Oh, hello everyone. Right. Yeah, I've read a little bit of the chat, but I was just saying hello and things to people. But do you want to do it? Do you want to do chat?
Yes,
I've just stuck a scalpel in my thumb, so if I'd appreciate it while I just bandage myself up.
Okay, so Ralph Hummel is at the top of mine. I don't know if he was first, so welcome, Ralph. And Ralph's been chatting to me all week. He's been very supportive, so thank you very much, Ralph. I do massively appreciate that. And Patrick as well. Patrick, welcome. And Rachel and Sarah's gin arrived today, as well as Carcasson. I don't know how you pronounce that. But Rachel is looking forward to that. We've got Surreal. We've got Marty Milligan. We have... welcome to both of you as well. I think Surreal has rescued 2 rabbits. Have you seen that?
I have. That is brilliant.
Yeah.
Spreading the rabbit love.
Yes. Stewie is very happy with you, Surreal. We have Coleman. Welcome. Lovely to say hello to you all, but I need to get back to the kitchen. Maybe he's not there, but welcome, Coleman. We have Phil. Phil's in the chat. Daryl Hewitt. Welcome, Daryl. I hope you're doing well. We have... I'm very slow today.
That's okay. Take your time, Sam. It's been a while. We've both got to get back into this thing.
Got to get back into speed. December's knocked it out of both of us, I think.
It's been a crazy period.
Neil Molden. The Orc Boys as well.
What else? Daryl? Have you said Daryl?
Daryl, yeah, I said Daryl. And the Fomorian. So I think that's everybody who has said something. And there's another random time, to be fair. It's 6 o'clock. We didn't really even schedule this at all, did we? It was just... I mean, I said to Phil I was just going to come on and sit and build some Beastmen. So it was completely random today. That's all I'm going to do. What are you doing, Phil?
I am working on... I'm going to have to roll back a bit. Look, I am working on my lava terrain. Because I just want to get it... Because I've got like 12 pieces to do and it could only take like a night. So little bits of lava terrain. That's what I'm working on.
It's looking good though.
It's yeah, I'm really in love with hot glue stuff. So Patrick was here. I've got fond memories of doing this terrain because Patrick was when Patrick came to visit, and he was like master of the hot glue gun. He was telling me where to put it and whether my lava was too runny or too viscous. And we kind of designed the terrain together, so it was good fun.
Yeah. It's been, I mean, that's probably the last bit of hobby you've done as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I've got, I've gone all out of focus. I think that's because I'm waving stuff around in front of the camera. Can we, there you are, I'm back in focus. Yeah, I've got the last of the Gene Stealer cult to finish off. And I've managed to do a little bit on the 2 Necromunda gangs. So they are my hobby objectives for this month. I want to get those done by the end of the month, which I know is a short call, but I think it can be done. So because I want those clear so I can get on to my Caradron Overlords.
Yeah. I think we do need to do more Age of Sigmar. I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. This Beastman army is the priority. I've only got till March to get it done. So, just sprayed Activator. Yeah. Oh, that went up my nose as well.
That's horrible stuff as well. Have you noticed if you spray it on your finger and then you eat within like a 12-hour period, you can still taste the activator no matter how many times you wash your hands?
No.
I think the activator is really not good stuff.
It's not good stuff, but I'm gluing. I'm trying to build a Beast Lord. I was saying to you just before, this is the Chaos character from the starter set of Age of Sigmar, and I've glued some. I had to chop up a Bestigore because they are the best gores, and fit that together, but it's not the right sort of scale. So I'm just kind of reposing it, and I'm wedging everything in place and using Activator to pretty much seal it where it's supposed to be.
Are they pretty much all old models, that entire range? Because when you posted on the group, it was all white boxes.
Yeah, I mean, check this out. This is the worst kit I've ever bought. I don't know if anyone can hear me actually online. I haven't checked any of. We just went straight live, didn't we?
We did actually.
But I don't know if my microphone's working properly.
I'm going to mute for a second because I really need to have a big cough. Hold on.
Yes. Right, who else is here? James Jones, welcome, James. Ralph's asking, is that terrain from Ashi in the Mortal Realms, the Fire Realm?
You know what? Why not?
It can be whatever you want it to be.
We were given a lava mat to review, and we had no lava terrain. So I contacted one company to see if they wanted to provide some, and they said they were far too busy with back orders to provide lava terrain. And I just thought, you know what, it can't be that hard to make, because I'd used expanding foam before when I made that Tyrannid sort of hive world thing. So I was thinking it can't be that hard, just a bunch of expanding foam and then some hot glue for lava effects, which was inspired by using hot glue for lava on the Avatar base. So I decided to see if I could knock something up in a couple of nights, and that was the idea. I was only meant to spend 2 nights on it. I think right now this is the 3rd night, so I'm 1 night overdue, and it will probably take another night to paint. And it's taken me a little bit longer because what I'm working on right now is I've put like a hard card base on the bottom of them, and I'm cutting that base out. So you know, that's what's taking time, is to just snick all this out with a scalpel and try and not take my thumb off with it. So that's what slowed it down, really. If I'd have left it just on its normal bases, I think I could have just got on with painting it, but I decided they were a bit flimsy and I wasn't happy with it. So
yeah, they need to last, really, don't they? Otherwise there's no point going to the effort in the first place.
Exactly.
I'll show you this kit. So you know the Gore Grunters? Amazing kit, amazing models. This is the Beastman version. This is the Chariot Boars, the old ones. I mean, let's see if we can get it there. I don't know if it's going to be. It's obviously going to be delayed for you, but just it does look like it looks like something out of the Lion King. It's not really.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
It's the most stunted plastic model I've ever seen in my life.
You know what? I think I've got about 3 or 4 of those from when I was into fantasy when I was a kid. So I don't think the model's changed at all. So if you need any extra boars, they are boars, aren't they? That's all they are, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a baby Gore Grunter.
Yeah, I've got 3 or 4 of those. I've got 3 or 4 of those in the box if you want to add to them. I'm sure I have.
I was debating on. I mean, I've only got 1 chariot in the list for the tournament, but I was debating on buying another 2 chariots and buying a pack of 3 Gore Grunters, and then having 1 Gore Grunter boar pulling the chariot instead of having these 2 little measly things. So at least it would be quite cool. The other thing that I've found in the wardrobe of doom, or the wardrobe of shame, is this, the Chaos Chariot. And it's been opened, so I don't know what's inside it. I don't know if I've used it in the past, but potentially I've got one of these. I've got 2 horses, and I've got a big Gore Beast that pulls one of the chariots as an option to put on there as well.
I think I've got about a 20-second delay, but oh right, okay, yeah.
It's just the current Chaos Chariot model, so I might do that.
Yeah.
But I've got so many models to do, and they're all the same, so it's boring, but I'll get there.
I have to say I'm a little bit concerned with the fact that you're taking on 60 infantry. I assume you're going to use a lot of dry brushing for all the fur and stuff, are you?
Yes.
You're not going to get edged by that, are you?
Well, saying that, I mean, on these Bestigors, there is minimal. It's generally armour and a bit of chainmail, and there isn't much else. There's a bit of skin, but there isn't much fur, to be fair.
Right, I tell you what, you do some hobbying while I work through the chat then. We'll take turns in being in the chat. Shall we do that?
Yeah.
So I'm halfway through cutting my next piece of terrain. So what have we got? Right. Where were we? I'm just looking now. Hello, guys. All right. Okay. James Jones has joined us. Hi, everyone. Hope you are well. Neil Malden says, looks like a blessing from Nurgle. I can only assume that's probably the horrible terrain I'm working on, but yes, It could be painted that way. In fact, I did kind of like a Tyrannid one that looked absolutely disgusting in yellows and greens and horrible stuff. Ralph Hummel says, "Is that the terrain?" Oh, you've already read that one. And Marty Milligan says, "Have you done any snowy style terrain?" Yes, I have. We've got a snowboard at the studio, haven't we?
That was one that's been used quite a bit.
I'm going to say it was used quite a bit in the beginning. I don't think we've used it for a while, have we? Because
a lot of the scenery is broken, though, isn't it? Some of the foam bits have snapped off, so we've just been using the desert more than anything.
Yeah, that is true. I think I need to go down the studio and have a repair day on terrain, don't I, really? Take like a tub full of paints and stuff and just go and repair some terrain.
The problem is when you made those, you like mixed up all the paint, didn't you, with all the texture and things. So getting the same consistencies and stuff will be difficult, but it will look fine anyway because it's terrain.
It'll be fine. It'll work out in the wash. What else have we got? The Fomorian says, "I am building my Necromunda Goliath gang." Nice. And your nose is now activated, Sam. Big Mac Dance Skull is in saying we can hear you, and everybody's saying we can hear you okay. Frost and Fist has joined us.
Yay.
Hey, people. And Allboy says, "After buying the Forge World Great and Clean one, GW drops theirs." Typical. I know it is. So Jack's in two minds about that Great and Clean one. It's well, he doesn't feel the need to get rid of his Forge World one, certainly, because he kind of thinks the Forge World one is just one of the options. And they do look pretty much... I've not seen them side by side, but I think they're pretty much the same size, aren't they?
The GW one is definitely bigger, but to be honest, it's so close to them. It's almost like GW went, "Oh, the Forge World one's nice. I wish we could do it in plastic," and then just almost replicated it with a few more options. But the kit does look amazing. I am pretty jealous of Nurgle, and if Jack wasn't doing Nurgle, I think I would probably take over, because the Blight Kings, the Blight Lords, Typhus, all of those kits, and what I call the Death Shroud, all of those kits are just amazing. And painting them, you can throw paint at them and they look great, regardless of what you do with them.
The Death Shroud, that's 40k though, isn't it? Death Shroud, is that right?
Is it Death Shroud?
Or is it
Shroud? They're basically the honor guard for Typhus. They follow him around.
So yeah, 40k.
They were in 30k and 40k.
Because, I mean, obviously a lot of the models now with the new Demon Codex, Jack bought the Demon Codex the other day.
Yeah.
And he's pointed out that a lot of the new models are available in 40k now as well, aren't they? Including that Horticulturus or whatever, the big slug.
Oh, the Age of Sigmar thing. Nice.
Oh, it's incredible. The rules are ridiculous, Sam. Like, the Greater Demon's up to something like 18 wounds now or something. It's just mental. And loads of sort of statistic rules as well. So he's pretty happy about that.
I am definitely taking an underdog army to this tournament.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be good or bad.
Oh, I think it's it'll be fine, Sam. You've got Patrick with you.
I know that's what I'm hoping on, but the problem is I don't want to drag Patrick down. Patrick's got like full tactics mode, amazing composition for an army. I'm just turning up with some beastmen.
Yeah, but all you've got to do is be cannon fodder for Patrick's army. Just get in the way.
I could do that great.
Your job is to just like get in the way and die for like the first 3 or 4 turns, while Patrick does crazy magic. Any
objective for the mission that says have more models on the objective than anybody else, I'm done. I just basically walk towards it and that's it. My image of this army is going to be Braveheart, because I just like the idea that at the beginning of the game, my Beastman 30 block unit can just appear on the side of the table and I can just flank both sides with 2 big 30-man units. And I'm very tempted to give them all blue war paint on the faces as well.
Yeah, that would look really cool. I've been thinking. I was saying to you just before we went online. I think to go with Rachel's Seraphon, I think I'm going to do Sylvaneth. Partly because I will have had a lot more practice with Sylvaneth. Even if I've got 1,000 points worth of Caradron Overlords done, I could probably just get 1,000 points done in time for the tournament. But that seems like a bad idea, to just get an army done in time and not get any play in with it, if you know what I mean. Because I kind of think I need to know my army really well, because I need to move mine and do all my stuff in about 5 seconds so Rachel can have the rest of the turn to herself.
Stalker's just donated. Stalker 40k. What a legend. Thank you very much. Thanks for the show, guys. This put.
Thank you very much, Stalker 40k. I'm going to mute for a second.
I'm going to go mute myself. I like to hide in peace. Let me catch up on the chat actually while you're coughing away. Where did we get up to? So Orc Boys said that. Frost and Fist saying, miss you guys. I hope things are better for all three of you. I don't think he read that out. He might have done, but yeah, I think they're getting better. It's been tough. I think since December, it's been very tough for all of us, and I think it's getting back to normality a little bit more now. Anyway, at least for me. What about you, Phil?
Yeah, well, I mean, the good news is, of course, the big question was when I went in for an operation just a few days before we were meant to go away on holiday was that before I went away, I could barely walk. And the question was whether I'd be able to ski. And I actually managed 3 days skiing. So I was pretty pleased. And I was saying to Sarah today, I had a good sort of 4 or 5 hours of the day without feeling any discomfort at all, which is really strange for me after having lots of back pain for so long. So really good news at the moment, but it's still only diagnostic what they've done, because what they've done is like a temporary block to the nerves. But at least they know what's causing the problem now, so that's really good news. So yeah, I mean, really tough December, really tough start to the year. Just as soon as I got back, work was manic, and I was in work for sort of 4 days, doing really long days. And then just people were falling over left, right, and centre at the office with this flu. And then that was it. I was just on my back for sort of 3 or 4 days with this really bad flu. So it was horrible.
This flu's got everybody, though, hasn't it? It's all over the news. The hospitals have got, was it 4 different flu strains that are going around at the moment?
Is that what it is? I know who gave it as well. It was the lady serving behind the counter of the Co-op in a little village called Finney Compton, who, as I approached the counter, coughed right into my face. Literally, I felt the sort of spittle in my face. And she went, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I've got that horrible flu that everybody's coming." And it was like 6 hours later, I started to feel horrible. It was just like, "Oh, right, thank you, lady." So yeah, you'd have probably flipped out if that had happened to you, Sam.
I probably would have done. I'd have. Yeah, I don't know how I would have reacted. Probably cried. Probably had a little bit of a cry on the floor.
I'm going to have to mute again. I made myself laugh and cough.
Okay, we have the Orc Boys still just ordered one, so it's got 2 great unclean ones. Coleman, and if anyone is interested in my cooking progress, the Pakistani vermicelli from Asda has got a bit of a strong flavour, but is generally quite nice.
Ooh.
Elias AM, hello. Welcome, Elias. Matthew Judge, welcome, Matthew. Pierre Bertilson, I've not seen a lot of these names before. Welcome to all of you. Hello, I'm going to start an army in AOS. Am I cheese if I play Zinch? No, you are not.
Not at all, but they're a great army, especially if you go with Zangors, and especially if you go with Zangor Skyfires. I think Patrick's limit on cheese for Zangor Skyfires is any more than 9. And you're pushing it, I think. So
no, I think he said 6. He takes 6 if he's being fair, and I think 9 is pretty nasty.
Right. Okay.
I think
you can take more, can't you, if you wanted to?
But he took 6 in the game against me, and I think that was 600 points. I think it was 6, and that's that's the cost of my most expensive model.
If it's the same as the game against me, I think he took 6 in the game against me, and that was 400 points for those, I think.
Maybe he took 9 against me then.
So he might have taken that. I think 9. Yeah. Anyway, so yes, no, they're a great army. They're absolutely fantastic, and I think things can go wrong with them just as easily as they can go fantastically well with them as well. So
I think you need to know when to use the Destiny dice, and I think that's something that Patrick's pretty much nailed. He knows exactly when to use the dice. Obviously, you have to roll them at the beginning of the game, and the results are going to be random. But knowing it's like using command points in 40k, knowing when to use them is going to help you massively.
Yeah, I mean, he rolled a few 1s with me, and he was using them for morale tests.
Yeah, on his Pink Horrors.
You can then bring so many back, can't you?
Yeah, he did that to me twice. Two bravery tests. He's like, there we go, that's guaranteed D6 Pink Horrors back at the end of this combat. It was like, and he does it with a smile on his face as well. He just, So no, they're not cheesy, but they are very powerful, and you can play quite a balanced list with them. And I'm hoping that he's going to carry me all the way to the win in this tournament in March.
Actually, apologies as well, because I did say to a few people my battle report with Patrick will be going up on Friday. And Sam, if you've had a look at the back end of our YouTube channel, you realise it got to 90-something% and then stopped uploading. And I don't have enough data to re-upload the film. So I am going to call in at the studio tomorrow and use the studio's Wi-Fi to upload the battle. So I can put the battle report up tomorrow. It's all done. It's it's all edited and everything. So that's 1,000 points of Sylvaneth versus Siege. But it was kind of an informal game. Out of everybody, I was the only one who didn't get a chance to do a studio game with Patrick. So we just did a quick 1,000-point game here before we did the Monday Musing. Actually, I think we finished about 15 minutes before the Monday Musing went live. So. But it's still about an hour and 20 minutes, I think, the video. So I've left a lot of the chat in because there was quite a lot of chat between us. So I just kind of left it in.
Right, what else do we have?
Look at you get clipping. I'll have a look at the chat.
I'm up to 12 Neef. 12 Neef says, happy to see Phila's return. Hope you're feeling better.
Thank you very much, 12 Neef. And I assume you're back in the US of A by now, but it was great meeting up with you, and I'm still very much into skirmish, so thanks for that intro. Brian Cripps says, working on my Zeech Lord of Change using the Creature Caster Lady from Arcana. That's an NSFW model before you go searching. So, oh, cool. So that's an alternative, is it?
Yes, but not safe.
And right, okay. I see what the I didn't know what that meant. I thought that was the name of the company.
No, now you know.
Now I know. James Jones says, just to let you guys know, I've been plodding along with my Tyrannid since WGO Chronicles, and I now have 2K painted. Well done.
That's
maybe we need to launch. Do we need to launch another Chronicles leading up to the
February? But I'm pretty much. I think I'm ready to do it whenever you want, really. We could just do a quick video and say, this is what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. Same as last time. And just
I'm wondering whether we do it as a unit or 1,000 points or something like that between February and March or something. Seems like you've got 1,000 points to do.
1,000 points, yeah. Or,
1,000 points of Caradrons or something, couldn't I? Maybe. What do you think? Let's have a think about that. Maybe we'll do something. Fozzy Wozzy 1203 says, evening all, ordered up a fair bit of Custodes today. Can I wait until next week? Sam, are you adding much to Rachel's army? Sorry if it's been said elsewhere. It hasn't. Sam, do you want to... are you adding any of those beautiful Custodes models?
Not immediately, but I think in time, certainly going to add. You know what? It depends on the case. I don't think there's much room left in the case. So that's the limiting factor, but I think definitely it needs some more stuff because that's one army that we've used quite a bit and we can easily expand that out. But I'm probably going to get those bikes to do the White Scar Primaris army that I've been dreaming about because they're like perfect, really. So I'm definitely going to be buying some of the models, but might not be using them for Custodes. We'll see.
I was wondering how long it'd be before you get Primaris bikers anyway. Now they've done the Custodes ones. What do you think?
I don't think it'll be that long, to be fair. I might just wait. I mean, I've got the Beastman army to do. The priority is this Beastman army. I've got the rest of the Black Dragons still to do. And then I've got some other projects in between. So I'm not desperate to do that White Scar army. By the time I've done this stuff, we'll see what happens. Because I'm pretty sure that the Elves are going to be coming out in June at the earliest. I think it's June. And I need to get everything done before then, pretty much.
Right. But it does make you wonder that if certainly Khan is the next Primarch, then you're definitely going to see Jetbike Primaris, aren't you, I think?
Yeah, definitely, if he comes back from his from the warp. I love the smell of plastic glue.
In the morning. Reminds you of victory. What else have we got now? Frank Storm says hello. Hey, Frank Storm, how you doing? Austin Frisk simply says blood.
Did you watch? I don't know if you got time to watch it, but I watched Frost and Fist's latest sit and chat thing that they do. It's quite good.
No, I've been catching up on Valrak and Katetsu.
Yeah.
So I'm not caught up on Frost and Fish yet, but no, is it good?
Yeah, they just always make me laugh. They're dead funny together. When the two of them get
They're
together,
not-
they just, I mean, they're like they leave all of the, not mistakes, but Mythos does a lot of retakes, and they just leave it all in. So I quite enjoy like watching that.
I'll catch up on it as well, definitely. It's definitely on my watch list, and something I've been doing at the moment as well is trying to, if I'm spending any time in the car, I've realised that I can listen to the audio over my stereo in the car like a podcast. So I've just been listening to a load of videos in the car as well. Excuse me, I'm just going to have a big cough and then I'll carry on with the chat.
I kind of wish that these beastmen didn't have horns. I know it sounds a bit weird, but they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be goats, but they actually look quite more, a lot more menacing without the horns on. They just look like, I don't know, giant dogs instead.
Are you going to start chopping bits off the top again, Sam?
Maybe.
Right. Okay. What have we got then?
Covered in plastic.
Right. Coleman says Underdog Army tried Dispossessed. Then we'll talk. Frost and Fist, Big Mac, my brother. I hope everything's awesome. James Jones says
Dispossessed. No, they're not. They're definitely not as underdog as Beastmen. But Dispossessed is the old dwarves. They've got so many weapons. You've got the organ guns. You've got your what do you call them? Grudge thrower. What else do they have? The cannon. They've got the gyrocopter. They've got range and speed.
Gyrocopter.
Yeah, they've got all that, and then they've got the longbeards, the quarrelers, the thunderers, the warriors. They've got loads of units.
I bought one of those gyrocopters over Christmas, just to treat myself because I really like the model.
Oh yeah, it's great, and it'll look good in your Caradrons as well.
Right, okay. James Jones says, confirmed Sam thinks the Scots are beastmen. There you go. And Daryl says, at Wargamer Online, there's no live chats. There's been no live chats all week, and I haven't painted at all until today. Coincidence? Question mark. Coincidence. Well, I'm glad if it's our chats that get you back to the painting table. That's cool.
Yeah. Sorry, there hasn't been any others though.
No, well, I was terribly ill. You weren't great, and you were off as well, weren't you? So it's we were both doing our best. And I'd sort of said I'd try and do one midweek if I was feeling any better, but through Wednesday and Thursday, I couldn't actually even speak. I was having to communicate with the office on emails only and chat because I just couldn't talk at all. Right, okay, where are we now? Marty Milligan says Papal Nurgle is attacking. Not cool. Yes, well, he's more or less finished with me, I think. That's the good news. And Coleman says you've got 1,000 points of Caradrons and there's nothing on the forum in the project logs. I know I haven't done them yet. I'm just saying that's exactly what I'm going to do. So yes, I will make a project log for it, definitely. At the moment, the 1,000 points of Caradron Overlords is just a bunch of boxes. So
that's what my beastmen are until hopefully tonight I'm doing a few more.
Although Sarah was really nice. So for Christmas, I got the Caradron Overlord Skyfleet box set, which completed my Caradron army. I think, and this is only a guess, but I think I could probably get 3,000 points if I got them all painted. Which is kind of weird because I only wanted the frigate, which is the medium-sized ship. I wanted the frigate. And it was £50 for the frigate. And Sarah went into Games Workshop and saw that box set for £100, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And she figured, well, that's only like twice as much, and you get all those extra bits. So just bought it me, which is brilliant because there is some models in there I definitely want. So that's cool.
I saw it's still Caradron related. Sorry, I'm just watching the plastic glue glide across the model. I'm trying to I'm trying to be more Phil and use plastic glue, but it's just look, watching the axe just slide off. What was I going with that? What was I saying? What was I saying, Phil?
Sorry, I had to mute. I was coughing, with laughing and coughing. You were something about Caradrons.
Yes, I saw today somebody had put goblin heads on the Caradron Overlord bodies, and it's perfect. They just look like little goblin sky pirate things. It's amazing.
I saw somebody working on a Skaven Caradron model, which Liam had been talking about doing ever since the models came out. Sort of getting Skaven and putting them on Caradron ships and stuff. And then somebody on one of the forums did a beautiful conversion with a half Skaven vehicle, half Caradron Overlord sort of thing, and it just looked amazing. I do quite like the idea of Sky Pirate rats as well. Mind you, you know what? Gobbos would work really well, wouldn't they?
I think they did them as Gadget Stan goblins, so they're from World of Warcraft. So
Fantastic.
they've got all these little like steampunk bits on them, which the Caradrons have generally got anyway. But I think he mixed some more bits in them. It was a great looking army. Simple.
Kablams is on saying he's managed to catch a show for once. So hey there, Kablams. Let's say hello at least. And Marty Dix is saying hello. Sorry, he's late.
Hello, Martin.
Boys are saying hello, Ralph Hummel. If it's 1,000 points, there is no way I can do that low. Well, okay, yeah. Well, maybe it's 1,000 points or a unit or a single model. Maybe we could do 3 categories. How about that? So if somebody wants to do like a crazy, beautiful, high-end model, painted to their very best ability, you could do a single model. Or you could do a unit, or you could do 1,000-point force. Let's be all inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
And that'd be cool then, because if people don't want to do a whole 1,000 points, they could just do a unit or something as well. What have we got here? Right.
These are going to be so awkward to paint.
Why?
There's not much room for their hair. Oh, jeez. I don't like it. Never mind.
In my mind, they were going to be easy because you just like airbrush them brown and then dry brush another brown. Is there a bit more going off with the models?
There's a lot more going on, to be fair. I mean, I watched Rory do his Beastmen and he kind of threw super glue at them and they looked all right. And then he threw paint at them and they looked great. And I don't know how he did it. There's just so much going on in such a small area. Anyway.
Right, who is it? It's Chaos. It's Chaos, isn't it? I'm trying to... And are they called war herds? Is that what I need to look up? Bray herds.
Bray herds are like...
Are war herds still different? So that's what you were saying, war herds are different then, yeah?
Yeah, so war herds is your Minotaurs and like the Doombull and the Gorgon and the Cygor. That's your units for the war herds. For Bray herds, you've got Bestigors, who are the best Gors, Gors, Ungors, Chariot, and then you've got a Beast Lord and a Shaman. There's 6 units. That's it.
Right, okay, so Bestigors are the beast men.
They're the best Gors.
What's the difference with what are Gors? Just
Gors are like the normal Gors. Bestigors are the best Gors. Ungors are the useless Gors. Well, they're not useless, but they're like the weedy ones.
Okay, gotcha.
The way that I've kind of gathered so far what the Beastmen are is they're effectively like humans that have wandered a little bit too close to chaos. So they've kind of seen some sort of portal or some tainted building, gone over, prodded it, and then become infused with chaos, and they start to become beastmen, basically. And I think they can turn humans into beastmen. I think the shamans must be able to do it.
Which is probably what those Ungors are they? Because they don't quite look as bad, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think they just basically see humans as weak. Beastmen are like, stronger and stuff. And they're like proper just raiders. They've got nothing else to do other than fight, and that's it. So they're pretty good at it.
They're nice looking models, though. Really nice looking models. But you're right. There's more detail on them, especially the Bestigors. There's more detail on those than I expected for old models. There's quite a lot going off there. Although they've done them predominantly the same colour, haven't they? They've done brown, steel, and red. And then obviously you just hit it with Agrax, don't you? And job done.
Yeah.
But I know you're not going to do that. I know that.
I might have.
Right, okay. Let me catch up on the chat because I've managed to do an entire another piece of terrain while that was going off. So I think I've only got 2 more bits of terrain to do and they're ready for painting.
Oakley dokley.
Sorry about the coughing, everyone. Where were we? Marty Milligan. Sam, what size are you limiting the Black Dragons to points wise?
I will decide when I do some more of them and see how long it takes. I think that the smallest I will probably do them to is 1,000 points, but I could maybe do 2,000. But, you know, if I crack on with them and just do them, I could potentially see myself just doing 3,000 to 4,000 points of them. It all depends on how much it's going to take me to actually paint them, because I wanted them to be my main army, and to do that, I wanted them to look really good. I wanted to paint them to a decent standard, like above tabletop in my eyes. But the problem with that is it takes a long time to do. So,
yeah, I'm with you though, Sam. As I was finishing off a few things, I was thinking I'd really like to do my character on Overlords above tabletop, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't quite know what to do about that, because it's quite a big army with quite a lot in it, and it would slow right down. I certainly might go a little bit more on the vehicles and the HQ than I normally would. Kind of trying up my, one of the things I wanted to do this year was up my game a little bit on painting. I think try and get something I'm a bit more proud of.
This is what I said, but I haven't actually done much painting. I did that one paint job for Marty for that Abaddon model, and that's all I painted in weeks now.
That was beautiful, though. It was really nice.
I wasn't happy with it, to be honest. And I said to Marty, I apologised. I was like, I'm sorry. I spent a good number of hours on it, but it's quite difficult painting under the camera the whole time. And I was trying to do the entire model under the camera just to see what I could take from it. But it's really awkward to paint like that.
Yeah.
When you're filming stuff. And yeah, I think if I did it again, I'd have a better idea.
Maybe we should have a look at your desk setup as well and see if we can make the camera less intrusive.
I think I've moved stuff around quite a bit, but
okay, what's going up on the chat as well? Right. Ralph says, I will start a Nurgle army once I am done with my Stormcast, as I already have the Slaves of Darkness starter, so it's just the Demons of Nurgle start. Just the Demons of Nurgle starter, and I'm pretty much set for 1,000 points. Cool. That Slaves of Darkness is awesome. It's a great set. I must have missed that before, by the way, because I've already read Marty's question that came after that.
Yeah.
Matthew just says, love them to bring rules to have Grey Knights, Custodians, and Sisters as combined units as the Emperor intended. Yeah, that's the weird thing, isn't it? Because I was watching a review of the Codex, and the Custodes Codex doesn't include Sisters of Silence, does it?
No.
Which is cool, because they've made it as a standalone army, but that begs the question, what are they going to do with Sisters of Silence then? Are we going to see a similar release for them as well and get some HQ and some, something a little bit... I'm not quite sure what kind of vehicle you'd have for those guys, but it would be nice to see that range expanded. And also, they've done that army set for Sisters of Silence, haven't they? Not Sisters of Silence, Sisters of Battle, Soritas.
Have they?
Yeah, it's metal. It's the plastic models, the fine cast model that was limited edition, and the old metal models as a box set, 300 odd quid for a detachment. Kind of Scuppers plastic sisters coming along this year.
I'm just tired of hearing about it, to be honest. It's got to the point now where I think people say they want plastic sisters just as something to say.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of people out there desperate for new models.
What do you want? I want plastic sisters. Okay.
I think when they made that pun ages ago where they looked in that box and went, ooh, plastic sisters, I think that was a little play on everybody's mind, and they were actually talking about the Sisters of Silence. There's a battle R coming along in plastic anytime soon, especially with them releasing that. If you were going to drop 300 quid on a detachment, and then, a few weeks later, they go and release they go and release plastic Sisters of Silence, Sisters of Battle, you wouldn't be happy at all, would you?
Yeah, same as if you bought a Forge World Great and Clean one, and then 1 week later they bring out a plastic one.
Yeah, okay, but it's not like they've done a promotion for it or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. That's basically enticing. Actually, you know what? It reminds me of the End Times. You know, when the End Times in Fantasy happened.
Yeah, that was pretty savage.
All these books, buy the limited edition. It's the new stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, yeah, those rules aren't worth it. You don't need them anymore. Age of Sigmar. That was But
it's brutal. Things like the Exorcist is back in stock, which was out of stock for absolutely ages, and it's a ridiculous vehicle. You know, that with the organ on the back of the Rhino. Model. It weighs an absolute ton. It's literally a brick of lead on the back of it, isn't it? I wonder if it's still lead or whether they've replaced it with fine cast yet. It doesn't actually say. Finally, a metal kit. Yeah, it's ridiculously heavy. It's like the heaviest Rhino model in existence. It's incredible. So yeah, I think there goes plastic Sisters of Battle for this year anyway.
Yeah.
Which is, a shame, but I would like to see Sisters of Silence expanded. That would be cool. I've always liked that whole the black ships going out and fetching psychers and bringing them back to the Emperor and throwing them in a big pit of psycherness and sacrificing them to the Emperor. Basically, I always liked that sort of. That was one of the darkest bits of the 40k history for me, was that 1,000 souls were sacrificed to him every day. I always thought that really summed up how grim the universe was. That it took 1,000 psychers just to keep the Emperor alive,
But it's not just, this is the other thing, because I was like, oh, if it's just to keep the Emperor alive, then they'd let him die. But he's kind of keeping everything going, isn't he? He's the reason that people can still travel through the system.
Yeah, it powers the Astronomicon, doesn't it?
They're basically just fueling a battery.
Yeah, they're just a battery to a giant psychic lighthouse. That's it. Which is just incredible. Still, right. Okay, what else is going off then? When will we be seeing the dreaded Dreadsorian on the tabletop in a bat rep, says James Jones.
I'm fed up with hearing about the Dreadsorian.
I did my bit. That's
still behind me. Yeah, but your bit was, what, a couple of hours?
I know. Yeah, it was about 2 hours. Trying to bring it back.
No, it's okay. I'll do it.
Right, okay. Derpimus Maximus says, nice, arrived just in time to find out that apparently I'm a beastman. Derpimus Maximus. No. Unless you consider that a good thing, but he did end the sentence with harumph, so maybe not.
I was saying that the beastmen in my head reminded me of Braveheart. It's not a derogatory thing at all. I think that's quite cool.
Well, yeah, it's cool. I like the idea of giving them all like war paint and stuff. I think that'd be pretty cool, especially the gore, the Ungors. They look really cool like that.
I'm going to give one of my gores. I'm going to name one of them Derpimus.
Derpimus, there you go. I'm not sure I'll be pleased with that, but you could make a character, couldn't you? At least
he could be my Beast Lord.
Coleman, no wait, sorry. Daryl says, I feel with the lurgy, I work in a call center and my wife had to phone in sick for me because I couldn't speak. It's like comic timing that I was running out of voice as I was reading that out. Daryl says, count me in for 1,001k. Manfred von Karsten is like 400 points on his own. Well, okay. You know what though? I think that's quite common in 1,000 points. You're going to spend a good 300-400 points on a big beastie within that 1,000 points, aren't you? Just to be competitive at the low end, I think you do see a higher proportion of the overall points going to something significant. It's a bit like me taking Dirthy, which is 400 points in a 1,000-point Sylvaneth list. You can make it work.
Yeah, I mean, I was debating on doing something different with my Beastman list, because I can do a thing with the basically the Shaman's ability, the spell. I can summon any chaos monster.
Yeah.
So I've got the choice of It doesn't even come out of my allies. I just need to reserve points for it. So my Gorgon is 200 points. That's an ally. So that's my maximum that I can take for that. But I could remove some other stuff out my list and save space to summon another monster. But it gives me the option to do any monster I want. So I could technically summon Archaon. If we were playing 2,000 points, I could summon Archaon because he's a chaos with the monster keyword. But it just gives you so much more. Yeah, it gives you tons of flexibility. And I think Rory had written that on the Warhammer community page, something like a shaman summoning Archaon from the depths, and Archaon turns up and is like, "What the hell?" He's like, "Get over there and fight, Archaon!" Just summoning Archaon to go and fight for you.
You can see him like with a napkin on because he's like in the middle of his tea.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Just,
whoa,
like
whoa.
Eating a chicken wing or something.
Yeah.
It's just like, what?
He's like a beastman, just murmuring, doing a bit of a grunt.
You could do that though, couldn't you? I think it is,
Well, I'll get an Archaon model and give him a napkin and a knife and fork and some chicken, and that way it's themed at least.
It'd have to be like hot and spicy chicken wings though. If it's chaos, it'd definitely live on the edge a bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay then. Coleman says, right, cooking done, time to eat. I'll catch the rest of it later. So lovely to see you back, Wargamer Online. And so that's at you and me. I've just realised that people are saying Wargamer Online when they want to ask you a question or point at you. So there you go, Sam. So lovely to see us both back. And Coleman's probably gone ages ago.
Bye, Coleman.
Decimus Maximus says, wasn't Gore a really bad film in the late 80s? I think it was, actually.
I was born in the late 80s.
And Kablams is saying, what style? Oh, I'm coming back. What style terrain is that? It is lava terrain. There you go. That's a finished piece. To just give you an idea. So it starts like that. And this is a great big sort of volcano-y thing with bubbly bits on, and then it ends like that.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Where are we now? Marty says, the Abaddon is awesome. So Marty McGillen saying, awesome in capital letters, Sam.
Oh, I know Marty's happy with it, but when you're just not happy with something yourself. You do it all the time, Phil.
And Infamous Maximus is just saying Kablam. So I do know that, definitely. I'm never happy with any of my stuff. Kablam's just saw the pic of your Necromunda board on Facebook. Do you want? It is beautiful work, Kablam. So well done on that, mate. It's absolutely stunning stuff. And then there's something about a GoPro on the forehead from Martin Dix, but that's probably relevant to something ages ago. So
that was
for
the
filming.
Camera setup. Yeah. I did think about putting something on my head, and then I realised I just moved my head too much, so it wouldn't work.
Do wag your head around, yeah. It might work though. Right, okay, where are we now? I think a bunch of people just chatting internally there as well amongst the group, so I'm just trying to catch up if there's anything for us. Marty Milligan says, I was thinking today is the Emperor dead, therefore unleashing the Custodians upon the galaxy. Well, I think the fluff in the book is no, he's not dead. It's just the Custodians have had a meeting with Gilliman, and they've come to conclusion that the time is the most dire, and for them to best protect the Emperor, they need to get out into the universe and deal with the universe's most dire threats where they are, rather than waiting for them to come for the Emperor. So that's the thinking behind all of that. And don't forget that Gilliman and the Emperor did indeed have a chat. And I think there's something inside the Custodes Codex as well, saying they know there are no secrets kept from the Custodes, so they're told the absolute truth, because that's what they need to operate correctly. So anything that was discussed between the Emperor and Gilliman was probably discussed with the Custodes. So no doubt it's the Emperor's idea for them to get out there and kick some chaos butt.
I did think, though, that part of that was saying that the Custodes wouldn't leave the Emperor's side, effectively. They basically garrisoned the fortress. It's not called fortress,
yes.
Is it? They basically wouldn't leave the Emperor's side, and that's why people were saying that he might be dead, because that's why they're leaving. But I think there'll still be a guard with the Emperor. They just don't need all of them yet.
Well, I think as ever, that's the thing. There's supposedly 10,000 of these Custodes, and even a full force. I think 2,000 points of models is about 36 models, so 36 dudes sent to take on the most dire threat isn't that much out of 10,000 dudes, is it? So, like I say, I think it's just a little bit of retconning of the lore, isn't it? Sort of, they're advancing the timeline a little bit, and times are different. Gilliman's back, and a few months ago there was no such thing as a Primarch wandering around.
Everyone's back soon as well, because the Vulcan will come back once they found the artifacts. The Lion will wake up because it said it was going to wake up in the next Crusade or the last Crusade, and what's the other one? Russ will come back as well when it's.
They'll bring Russ back.
Definitely, if it's the end, effectively the end times. That's when he's supposed to come back.
Yeah, be cool if they do. I don't mind them. All right. Okay then. Just trying to catch up on the chat again. Right. Right. Writer Sophie Stevens says, hello all. We'll try and stay for as long as possible, but we'll be having dinner soon. Love the Dreadsaurian. I'm a Seraphon/Lizardman player, so I approve. Well, hopefully you'll see more of Rachel Seraphon, as I want to try and get some test games in with Rachel as we approach this tournament. So hopefully myself and Rachel can work on some cunning synergies between our armies. Right. Ralph Hummel says, will 3 prosecutors and 3 retributors count? Question mark.
Yes.
I don't know.
That's for the
painting. Definitely for the painting. Yeah, you get away with that.
Ralph's painting them like god level. You've seen his flappy dudes, haven't you? The Stormcast that Ralph's been working on.
Absolutely stunning work. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, I've just got to cut really carefully. I'm being a bit over relaxed with this scalpel. I maybe should pay more attention. Right, a bit of debate about whether the Emperor's dead or not. Daryl says, Archeon, I choose you. Use tackle. I think that's a Pokemon. Is that a Pokemon, man?
Yes, 100%.
So Jack was at a party last night with his girlfriend. Myself and Sarah got the night for the first time in weeks. We got the night alone.
Yeah.
So because we've been obviously away with friends and stuff like that. So guess what Sarah wanted to do last night?
Play Pokemon.
Don't go there. No, she wanted to watch the Power Rangers movie.
Oh.
On Netflix.
Well,
so I sat with Sarah watching Power Rangers, having a detailed discussion about which Power Ranger I'd want to be.
Which one did you want to be?
Well, I said red because red was one of my favourite colours, and then Sarah complained because red's the leader, and she said she'd never follow me into battle, so I had to choose a different colour.
What did Sarah say she would be?
She wanted to be aubergine, which isn't even one of the Power Ranger colours. She was just being annoying, basically. And she was like, well, there could be an aubergine. And I was like, but it doesn't really roll off the tongue, does it? Aubergine.
I wonder what animal that would be as well.
What, for the Zoid or whatever it's called? Zoid or Zord? She even shouted out loud at one point, something like, what did she shout? Megazoid! When the Megazoid finally came on the film, she actually shouted it out at the top of her voice with excitement. She's a proper Power Rangers fan. And it all dates back to when Jack was a kid, and he was really into them. And she used to have to watch hours and hours of Power Rangers with him. So now she's like, he's just ingrained into her. She really enjoyed the movie. It was quite funny.
I reckon she'd like it more than Jack.
I think she does. Okay. Surreal says Philly's going to be mad when he sees my lava terrain and realizes one extra step could have made that crazy looking. Well, you need to post up some pictures then for me and show me what the extra step is. I did think about putting crackle paint on top of the lava so you got some crusty areas that had, like...
Crusty lava.
Yeah, that had... Well, I want to say frozen. Is that correct? I suppose it is frozen, isn't it?
It's not.
If you've got molten rock
freeze
solidified.
Yeah, it solidifies, but it's not frozen, is it?
Well, isn't frozen the solid state of a liquid?
That's a question for Rachel.
Yeah, that does sound like a Rachel question. Oh, well, right, Surreal, you need to post up some photos to the forum on our lovely website, and then we can have a look at that. So I'll check that out later, because I know that Surreal's on the forum. Ralph Hummel says, can you stop talking about food, please? Not allowed any other than rabbit foodstuffs. Oh, Ralph, I feel your pain. I'm on a big diet this year. And even though I was away skiing, I actually managed to lose 1.5 kilos of weight while I was away skiing, which normally it's just a complete diet of cheese and wine. And I was a really good boy and behaved myself. I actually managed to lose weight. Surreal says that was the first quickfire of 2018. Is that me? I don't think it was quite quickfire, was it? Marty says, a dire time, yes, perhaps known as the wolf time. We know what that means. As in dire wolf. Oh, cool. Yeah, Russ, got to have him back.
The wolf time.
And a lot of people love that. Right. Derpimus Maximus says it turns out the Emperor was inside all of our hearts the whole time. That's a lovely sentiment. Wouldn't it be great if that was what they said? He's just in our hearts. Right. Okay. So that's what the custodians have come out to protect. Yes, to protect our hearts. No Ulster Nation or Amit? No, Amit's not around. Maybe we caught him by surprise, actually. Or maybe he's working, given the time. We started early tonight, didn't we?
Yeah.
Derpimus Maximus says, obviously the Aubergine Ranger would be a snake that joins onto the Megazord around the groin level. Sometimes you start reading something out and then wish you'd read the end before you did read the end.
It's normally like Surreal, or you can read a bit ahead. Whenever Surreal says something, you just have to double check it first.
Surreal says put a small set of red, yellow, or orange twinkle lights in the middle of the lava terrain, and that way it actually glows. I hate to admit this, I did consider that. And I made my Sylvaneth Wildwood that lights up, and I've only ever turned them on once in a game. So I decided, whilst it'd look pretty, I'd probably never use them. I never turn them on because I don't want to drain the batteries, which is a bit crazy, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of the point of having them.
I know. I should start using them more. Although I have decided with the trees that I didn't that didn't light up.
Yeah,
I'm going to cut through the trunk of the tree halfway down and magnetize the top half and the bottom half of the trees. So when you start to move units into the forest, you can take the top of the trees off to move them around, so it's more appropriate. I just think it's a better thing to do. And I'll certainly do that for the tournament, because if I'll be taking Wildwoods as part of that, I don't want to come up against rule lawyers that say, your entire unit isn't in the forest. Just because I can't get a bunch of spiky tree people underneath a bunch of spiky trees.
Does the whole unit have to be fully in then?
Yeah. But when I played against Patrick, he was perfectly reasonable. He was just like, there's 2 dudes hanging out, but you're just going to break your models trying to get them under the forest. So just count them as in the forest. But I don't think you'll probably not get that at tournaments, will you?
I mean, the thing is, you should probably be allowed just to use the base of it when it comes to forests and being inside that. Or the other thing is, if you physically can't fit them inside there, then they just can't go in. And that's the downside of having a big unit. You can't get the extra benefits from being in the woods. I think GW should really clarify one way or the other, just so you know.
Well, on friendly matches, I think it's more, it could be solved easily by saying, like they've already done transport capacity for the carriage on overlord vehicles. They could just say how many people can hide inside a forest, couldn't they?
Yeah, that makes sense as well.
And then you just put one model as a marker, for instance, and assume if you've got line. Yeah, and if you've got line of sight of the forest, you've got line of sight of the unit, but I suppose it goes against the thematic feel of the board then, doesn't it? The kind of thing they're trying to get where everything looks cool.
It does speed the game up as well, though. If you, like you say, the woods have a transport capacity or a garrison capacity.
Yeah. It would speed things up because you just move one model into it, wouldn't you? And
Yeah.
say everybody else is inside. But anyway. Wow, I've actually done all of my terrain pieces. That's cool.
I've built 3 Bestigors.
3 out of how many, Sam?
30. Then I've got 30 Gors to do. And then I've got 20 Ungors or 10 Ungors.
I apologise to everyone as I wipe my nose and cough and splutter, by the way. I'm still not 100%, so...
Almost broke the axe.
Right, we're at 7 o'clock, Sam. How long were you thinking of going on for tonight?
1 hour. It depends if there's anything else to talk about, really. I wasn't going to come on for long. I was just going to come on and catch up because it's been a while, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. So, right. Well, let's at least cover what's going to happen over the next few days. I'm going to get this battle report up tomorrow. So I'm going to drive down to the studio and use the Wi-Fi there. Because I've literally only got about 4 gig of data left, and I want to be able to do a couple of Monday musings before the renewal, and it takes about 1.5 gig.
Well, the other thing is just bring it to me on a stick, and I'll upload it.
Could do, yeah. Okay, so either way, I'll either drop it off at you. I've got to go to the studio anyway. I want to pick up some of the forest terrain and stuff and get that sorted in time. So I know I've got everything done for the tournament then.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to go get some of the woods and, as I said, chop them down and magnetize them. And I might need to buy 1 more set of woods, actually. I was thinking I probably want 4 bases of woods is what I was thinking. Well, I think 4 bases allows you to either raise 4 separate woods or 2 base woods or something. It just gives you enough options, I think. And usually you've got space to make that happen as well. So, and I do want to make it an absolute nightmare for anybody to be able to do anything to... I'm kind of playing the same role as you are, I think, Sam. I'm just going to be annoyingly in the way of stopping you from killing Rachel's amazingly powerful nuts. That's what I'm thinking.
I hope we don't fight each other.
As a sheep. I hope not. It would be good though, but
because I'm just going to sit in the woods with you.
I need to get some battles in with Rachel, because we need Rachel to be like super sharp on her rules, don't we? Because she does all those crazy synergy things. So I just want her to be able to go like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, and you're all dead. Like that.
I don't want to go up against Rachel. It's just not worth it. Especially with the Dreadsaurian. She's so excited as well. She's looking forward to it.
Is she putting the Dreadsaurian in the list?
I think so, yeah. I did a brief list with her the other day, and I says, "What do you need then? What are you going to definitely have in the list?" And she says, "Dreadsaurian." I was like, "Yeah, okay, that's quite a chunk. Okay, whatever." A Slan, yeah, okay. You've kind of taken most of the points in this army now. 2 units of Temple Guard. Okay, that's another 200 points. So you've not got anything really left. And then she's like, "But I need the Bastiladon." Yeah, you don't have room for a Bastiladon. I was like, "You need to drop the Slan or the Dreadsaurian. So what do you want to do?" And she just said, "I'll figure it out." So
I do need to think about how what I do with my list then, because my initial list, I think, was to sort of go almost really, really troop heavy, just loads of dryads and a couple of branch witches.
I think that would be the best way to go.
Massively up the wound count of the overall 2,000 point list. Because I'm guessing Rachel doesn't have a particularly high wound count, is she? So really need to do something to balance that out.
She's just going to bring the big stuff because that's what she likes using. She'll probably bring 10 models.
Yeah. I just need to make sure what kind of range they've got and how I can get out of her way, if you know what I mean. I need to be able to block the enemy from getting to her, but at the same time allow her to get to the enemy.
Yes.
So I need to talk through with her what kind of attacks they do. The Dreadsaurian's definitely a close combat unit, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. Everything's close combat apart from the Slan has got some range on it in terms of magic, and the Temple Guard are all combat as well. Her army's pretty much combat or magic. unless she puts the Bastillid on in, and then I think that's got a bit of shooting if she takes the solar engine on it.
Yeah. The solar engine's pretty cool. Right, a couple of people on the chat. Ralph Hummer says managed to paint lightning symbols on 3 prosecutors during the chat. Boy, do I paint slow. That's good enough. That's fine. I don't think I could have done much more than 3 lightning symbols anyway. Frank Storm is painting some Death Guard. Big Rich says hi all. Hey, Big Rich, how you doing? And hey. So, right, my voice is starting to go, Sam. Excuse me. So I might have to pretty much get to the point where I call it a night, I think. But excuse me, I am really drying up.
No, that's fine.
But what were we saying? Oh, yes, I will be doing a Monday musing. So battle report tomorrow. So that's Sunday. Monday musing on Monday. And then, I don't know, we'll have a look at what we've got between us over the week, yeah?
Yeah.
I know I need to do a show with Luke. So maybe you might be able to get that in this Wednesday. I'll have a word with Luke. Yeah. And if you're around for that, we could do it as a group chat thing.
Yeah, that sounds good. Have we got any premium content as well? Because you've got some more battle reports eventually.
I've got 2 more battle reports filmed, but they're only 50% edited.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether if I could hand one of those to you, you know, the Patrick versus Liam, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you think you could do that, and I'll do one, and then we've got 2 then, and we'll either put both onto premium or one on premium and one on. Because I think there's Patrick versus Liam and Patrick versus Steve, isn't there?
Okay, that's fine.
So I'll do the Patrick and Steve one, you do the Patrick and Liam one. In fact, actually, then let's try and catch up tomorrow. We're on about getting together tomorrow, aren't we? So I'll get the video to you. So that would be cool. So yeah, and I think I'll have to go through. I may have some painting stuff to go on premium as well.
Mine's pretty because I'm just trying to get these Beastmen done now. I've got such a big chunk of stuff to do. Once these are at the painting stage, I can obviously do some filming for premium tutorials and things, but it's just all building right now.
I tell you what, I've got making this lava terrain, so I can do that as a tutorial. Just having a quick look. I've got airbrushing the Dread Saurian as well.
Ross K has just subscribed. Thank you, Ross.
So I've got airbrushing the Dread Saurian and this lava terrain, so I'll get that up as well, because they won't take much to edit. I think we were going to Dread Saurian. There's 2 separate ones anyway, weren't they?
Yeah, I'm going to try and film the rest of the painting anyway.
And then I've got a couple more battle reports, which were like in a test format as well. So I've got I've got Death versus Sylvaneth, which was a 2,000 point game, if I remember rightly. That was shot at the studio. And I've also got a 30k game, Death Guard versus Imperial Fists as well.
Who's that? Death Guard?
That was Steve and Jack playing the game. So, and that was, again, a different format. That was done in sort of a reportage kind of style. So I was trying a few different things.
What does that mean?
They basically played the turn and then did a summary at the end of each one of the gamer turns. So they, rather than filming all of the movements and stuff, they just both. Steve came round for a game with Jack, and I left them with the camera and the microphones, and they just sort of said, "Okay, this turn I moved here, I did this, I shot those guys out. This was really successful." So it was just a different style again, and again, it was just where I was experimenting with some different formats, really. I think given how long that took what I wanted to see was how long it took to edit some of these things. And to be honest, that took just as long to edit as it did the game I did against Patrick, where we filmed everything. Because what you found is you had to kind of, cut and chop a lot on the reportage format one. Whereas the game against Patrick, I didn't really have to chop much out. I just kind of let it run.
The game that me and Patrick had was really a lot better to edit, because how I put the 2 dice cameras directly underneath each other. I only had to edit the main footage. I didn't have to touch anything else.
Okay.
So it was a lot quicker.
I think that's the thing that people need to hear, I suppose, is we're going to try a few different formats. The big issue is everybody seems to like the format of the studio one, which is cool. But definitely for me, editing the studio format ones take a lot of time. So, we're just going to try and maybe sit down, me and you, and look at a release schedule so people know what they're going to expect realistically from us in terms of battle reports and stuff this year as well. And we'll try a few different formats out to get the edits done quicker, because that's the big challenge, isn't it? Excuse me. Right. Emil Nystrom is saying hi from Sweden. So hello. How are you doing?
Yo.
And Daryl is just saying, are you guys going to take part in the Malign Portents painting challenge? Got 10 skeletons on the table now, along with Manfred and hex rates for the January challenge.
Malign Portents. I don't even know what that one is. I probably won't, because I've got enough to do. But the Chronicles is what I'll be doing.
I think it's the Warhammer community thing, isn't it? In which case, I won't be at the moment. I do want to take part in their stuff, definitely. I think it'd be good for us and the channel, but I don't have anything that fits within the Malign Portents stuff at the moment, so, and neither do you. So, yes, we will push on with our getting ready for the tournament in March, which I'm super excited about.
And I think we'll film a bunch of those games as well, can't we? Our practice games for the tournament. We can just film them.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And we'll have a chat with the community team as well when we're up there as well, see what's happening. So John Thompson says, happy Saturday, Justin. Looking forward to resubbing as a premium member. Oh, well, thank you very much, John Thompson. Thank you for resubbing.
Thank you very much.
And Furious George says, Sam, Phil, I miss you guys so much. And 3 kisses, Sam. 3 kisses.
One's for Rachel as well.
They're emoji kisses as well, so they're even better. I don't even know how you do those emoji things. There must be a magic button in the chat, mustn't there?
I don't think we're cool enough to do it.
I really am running out of voice.
Yes, let's go. And thanks everybody for joining us. Sorry we didn't really have any topics, did we? We just kind of caught up, but it's been a while. We've come on, and I hope you've enjoyed this little bit of a discussion.
Hobby Hangout.
Yeah,
I think it quite literally was. I think this is the first time both of us have actually got some hobby done. So
I know we should do it more often.
Right. Okay. I'll say goodbye. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for the donation as well.
Yes, thank you.
That was absolutely great. So we shall see you all again soon. But Sam's in charge of the show, so maybe you should say the goodbye.
Yes, I'm going to put up the credits now. So see you later, everyone, and stay safe.